everyone, and welcome to the Pint Pals podcast. We invite you on this journey to explore the world of craft beer. Each episode, we'll take a new step into the craft beer world to help you find the best ones. We'll sample some beers, give our rating on them, and share some laughs along the way. So please join us, and remember, craft beer is for everyone.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Pint Pals podcast. It is I, Lucas, and Nate is not with me this week. Unfortunately, he is still busy setting up his whole new job as being a teacher in a new school. And I am joined by a couple of new friends doing another tap takeover with our new friends from our haunted backyard. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Hey!
Hello.
I am joined today by Eric and Ian.
Hello there.
And
My best Obi-Wan impression.
what's up?
My best Obi-Wan impression. Whenever I say hello there. Hello there.
So for everybody out there, Our Haunted Backyard is a new podcast that focuses on cryptids and ghost stories in, is it fair to say, just the whole Ohio state?
Yeah, currently. We wanted to start doing, we wanted a podcast where we kind of focused more on, like, it was going to start in Ohio, but we really just wanted like kind of the local legends that don't make like the big documentaries and the like, not like every YouTube has, every like spooky YouTube channel does something on the Mothman, who I love Mothman, a very interesting story.
Same.
But we wanted to do stuff that's like weirder, more local things that you're not going to hear unless you're usually from the area.
Yeah. And in all the state, like in every state. Yeah, we started in Ohio because that's like where we're both from. We grew up in Ohio and we still live here. But like we want to branch out to other states, like not just in the Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana area, but even just other states, because I love learning about little spooky shit that did not make a movie about. They didn't make a movie about.
Where can people catch your podcast?
They could catch it like on all the major stuff. I know we're on Spotify. I know we're on Apple. I know we're on I know we use Podbean to get out there.
Yeah, so basically anywhere where you can get a hold of podcasts. I'm not 100% sure if we're on Stitcher right now.
Do not know.
We also do post the audio to YouTube. No video yet. We want to do that eventually. But that will require a slightly better setup than my very crowded office. But yeah, like we also have all the social media accounts. We have a Facebook page. We've got Twitter. We have Instagram. We have TikTok. All of it is usually a variation of OHBY pod or Haunted Backyard Cast or some such thing. We have a link tree too, so we can send you a link tree that will like get like have links to all of the major accounts and stuff like that. So
yeah, which I need to be better about posting on Twitter.
Yeah, we've got social media. It doesn't mean we use it all the time.
Yeah, I'm good at social media, but like I forget that I have another one that I have to worry about.
And in the theme of since we are approaching spooky season,
we are in spooky season,
and since this is the Pint Pals podcast and we sample alcoholic beverages on this podcast, and I wanted to sample this with you, we are doing the Trick or Treat Hard Seltzer series from Urban Artifact. And in this 6-pack, there are 2 tricks and 4 treats, and I am letting you guys decide which ones we're going to do, because apparently each can is a different cryptid, right?
Yeah.
Is that what these are technically, cryptids? Like,
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I get kind of weird about the definition of cryptid on occasion, because to me a cryptid is a biological, it's a creature. You're saying this is a flesh and blood animal. And then but a lot of things get lumped under the cryptid umbrella, like Wendigo is one of them. Skinwalkers. Even for me, like Mothman, I don't know if I'd classify it as cryptid.
I would not classify Mothman as a cryptid.
Though I've also seen people. I've seen people claim there is a Mothman like the West Virginia species of Mothman is great at disguising itself as as like tree trunks. And I'm like, but yeah, broadly, yes, cryptids.
Gotcha. So which 4 here do you guys want to do?
I feel like we gotta do Frogman first because he was our first episode.
Yeah.
Like...
So the first one we wanted to pick out was the Loveland Frogman.
Yes.
He was our first episode, and like very, very local, just like halfway between here and Dayton and Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. I love these cans because they do have their name on them and the year and the state, as well as little fun facts about them. It says 1955 Ohio. The quote is, noticing the salesman, they waved their wand.
Yeah,
he's got a little wand and a little trick-or-treat pail.
What's the quick Spark Notes version of the Frogman story?
This quick Spark Notes is in 1955 there was a salesman. Did they say his name? I can't remember his name. If he had a name, I do not remember off the top of my head, but it was a salesman in 1955 in Loveland, Ohio. He was driving across like this bridge, and he saw not 1, not 2, but 3 what he described as bipedal frog-ish looking people. And one of them had what he could only describe as a magic wand, like a very pointy stick, and that the frogman allegedly like waved at him and sparks allegedly flew from it.
Yeah. There were there was another sighting in the 70s by a police officer.
Yes.
Though some people think that might have been an escaped iguana, like somebody's like pet lizard. Because they ended up like somebody like shot a lizard. Yeah. And said, I found the frogman. Yeah. But then the other like recent reported sighting that I know of was actually 2016. Yep. It was some teenagers playing Pokemon Go.
And they just happened to see Frogman in the river.
They saw Frogman in the river.
Yeah.
And I've heard other sightings, or at least like people haven't claimed to see it. But the big one is the salesman in 1955, the police officer in the 70s, and the 2016. There's also a musical.
I forgot about that.
Oh. I've not been able to hunt it down, but there is a Frogman musical.
I love him though. He's very over the garden wall looking. And his stats are he's 4 feet 2 inches. His weight is 680,000 tadpoles. And his interests are roller skating and spirituality. Same.
All right.
My favorite thing about these cans is that they gave him the creepy eyeballs.
Those are really good. They're really well designed.
They're really well designed. I love these. I love this can like so very much.
Like I almost don't want to.
I don't want to throw it away. Yeah.
Well, right, I'll let you guys know these are just stickers on the can. Their beer labels are just stickers. You can peel them off.
Fuck yeah. All right. Wait, you ready to crack it open?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh, there we go. Okay. Like, oh, that smells weird.
I just smelled it as well, and I'm like, we might have just found it.
We might have just found it. The first
found one of the tricks.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's green!
Oh no way!
It is like it is like
Nickelodeon slime green.
I was going to say it's like that Slimer
looks like Ecto Cooler.
Yeah.
Oh no way!
It looks like fucking Ecto Cooler.
Oh my God, that smells
so horrid.
Oh God, that smells like ass.
That smells so bad.
That's brimstone. That is sulfur.
That's sulfur?
Oh my God, that's sulfur?
Oh my God. I mean,
cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Jesus. I'm not taking a full swig of this thing.
I was not expecting a trick on the first go.
Oh, that tastes like ass.
That's straight.
That's spicy.
It's like it is spicy sulfur.
So
Oh
weird.
God. Oh God. It tastes like spicy hot dog water.
Oh my God. Wait, can I?
Do they give you any indication anywhere about what it's supposed to taste like?
I don't know. I didn't. Oh God,
I-
this is
hold on.
terrible.
I'm trying it one more time.
It's
You don't have to. I'm
What?
just a sadist.
Why is it sweet on the back end though?
Yeah, that's right. Because that made me think I liked it a little bit.
It's
So
like
I'm
getting kicked in the dick and then somebody hands you $5. Like
like, well, I made $5.
it
All right,
smells awful.
second try. Second try. No,
It's worse when you. It's so much worse to smell.
Smell it.
it
Oh
smells
God.
worse.
And here's the thing: there's somebody at a brewery that made this, and they had to stand over a giant vat.
Yeah.
It was probably 30 barrels worth of this, and they're like, "Yeah, these motherfuckers are gonna drink this."
Frogman done us wrong.
Oh
I'm
God.
not going to be a quitter though. I'm going to at least finish the sample.
You're gonna finish this thing? Okay.
Oh God. More power to you. I'm not.
Oh, he did the whole thing.
Yeah, I just shot it.
He just shot the whole thing.
God.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna take a picture of this.
No, you're
Man,
totally
this-
fine. This is terrible.
This is ass, but I gotta take a picture of it next to the can, like just to show people that look, this is what I drank. Oh my God. Oh, Frogman, why?
I want to like email them and be like, what the hell?
Oh, it's so much. I will say, like you said it already. Ian said it already. It smells way worse than it tastes.
Yeah, it
Yes.
doesn't taste good. It is
No.
No, but
but
it's
the smell is when you cracked open the can, I was like, oh no.
I was
could
like,
smell
oh,
it from like a foot away. I was like, oh no.
I just
I was
burped
like,
and it's
oh, I
oh
hate-
God.
Oh. I don't think I can finish the sample, dude.
So
Oh, you're totally fine.
Your rating system,
Oh,
and like the lowest one is the P. The probably one.
Yes. So here at the Pint Pals podcast, we have our very own rating system. It is called the Pro System. It is an acronym, and each letter stands for something different. P stands for probably won't drink again. R is regrettable. O is optimistic. S is satisfactory, and T is terrific.
I feel like there needs to be another. There's like a lower level.
Is there something lower than
There's
P?
there's a silent D. Just like don't ever drink.
Don't ever fucking. Ugh.
No. I think this is a brilliant marketing tactic.
Oh,
and I
definitely.
think this I am a sucker for dumb shit like this. Like, oh my God, it's so bad.
Betrayed by our own frogman.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Nope. Oh man. I can't finish it, man.
Hey, I'm not making you. I'm not finishing this.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, you can just go ahead and like take the can.
Yeah,
out,
let me
too.
just take the can before it
I don't
sink.
want that to stink up.
Oh my God, you're gonna hear a door opening. Sorry, viewers. Oh.
All right. Well, here's the good news. We're already, we're done with 50% of the tricks.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that I'm hoping we don't have another one. I am concerned, I want to know what they both are. Is it the tricks are the tricks like both just gonna be the sulfur one, or
That's also a good point.
Oh, I hope not.
or is it gonna be or would it be something different?
Okay, I'm back after dumping out the swamp water.
That's what I bet you. That's what the steers-
That's probably what they.
going
Yeah, that was
for.
probably their whole thing.
Yeah.
Because of the swamp, and he's a frog. Do we want to I'm scared. Do we want to open another one?
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Here,
One
let's-
second.
Do we? Oh man, do we want to do it from one of the four? Do we want to try to grab another one? Because now I'm that replaces the four.
Oh no. We're definitely keeping that in.
like the fact of like
No, that's one of the four.
that's one of the
That's
four.
one of the-
That's one of the four. Okay. I'm trying to think like the people who did this, because like retrospect, Frogman makes sense to make the trick because he's a swamp creature.
Yeah, that you're trying to figure out the system.
Trying to figure out like their system.
I don't think Mothman can betray us. Mothman's too pure.
You don't think Mothman can betray us? He is wearing his adorable little ghost costume.
I say Mothman next.
Mothman?
Yeah.
Okay.
That works for me.
Okay. And on Mothman's can, do you want to read? I read Frogman's can.
Yeah,
You wanna read
Mothman's 1966, West Virginia. The quote is, couples see man-sized bird, creature, something.
Yeah.
And then his stats are height is 6'6", tall person. Weight is, that's rude. Interests, ambient rock, and structural engineering.
Oh,
That sounds right.
that sounds right.
Except for the structural engineering is...
Because he's an omen of doom.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the rough Mothman story, for anybody who's not familiar, is Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Yes.
Just across the river from like Athens, Ohio region. In 66 through 67
Yes.
there were a series of sightings of this Mothman creature, this very like this large moth-ish creature, big red eyes. But there was also it is a fascinating case because there's so much thing. There's UFOs, there's ghosts, there's alien encounters, there's Men in Black. But then at the kind of like culminating this series of sightings and weird events, the bridge over the Ohio River connecting West Virginia to Ohio collapses.
Do we want to? Oh, that smells lovely. That actually smells not bad.
That's root beer.
That's just root beer.
Interesting color, different color though.
Different color. It is black.
I poured myself.
You poured yourself a healthy amount.
I got to make up for Frogman.
You guys think this smells like root beer?
I do a little bit. I thought it smelled like grape soda or root beer. I also was trusting it. I poured myself a lot. I just trusted it too much.
Yeah, I get kind of like not root beer, but root beer flavored candy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cheers
to the moth.
To the Mothman.
That tastes like shit.
That doesn't taste great.
It doesn't taste much like anything.
No, it does not taste great.
Like it smells good. It smells okay.
Yeah, it smells. I could probably finish this.
We could also be running the risk that all of these just taste like shit, and they're like, yeah, the 4 treats in there are really, really good.
Yeah, like that. I would say like my overall response would be inoffensive.
Yeah,
this is definitely not Frogman.
It's like I would not drink a can of this.
No.
But like if you like put this or the Frogman in front of me and said you got to drink one,
I can't at all describe the taste of this. What are you like? You said it tastes like ass, but like
I think it tastes gross.
Like
I think it's supposed to be like a root beer cream.
Yeah,
but I am not getting like a good taste on it at all.
It's very, like I said, it tastes like root beer candy, which never tastes as good as you want it to.
No, yeah, it always tastes like really fake. Like the root beer candy always tastes like incredibly fake.
Yeah,
but I can finish this. I can finish this sample. Like the Frogman, I could not finish. But like
we're still being haunted by Frogman.
We're still getting over Frogman.
Which is like part of like I was like, is this actually really good? But that Frogman is stuck in
I think it's because we went so low.
Yeah.
Or like our mouth is tainted. Like I can't taste properly right now. And I tried to do some like water. I mean, we need some like where they do just kind of like the standard like seltzer, like the non-alcoholic seltzer when you're doing like coffee tastings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
just to cleanse the palate.
I feel like though, Ian, I feel like you're right. I think this is supposed to be a treat one. I don't think this is supposed to be like on the level of. It's definitely not on the level of Frogman.
The fact that when you open the can and it didn't violate your senses,
Yeah.
like that to me is like,
It
this is a
didn't
treat.
smell
We're not-
like sulfur as soon as you crack the can.
Yeah, there's no like kick in the nuts. It's just like but it's not $5 either. It's like, oh, a quarter.
Yeah,
Just I'm finding a quarter on the ground.
I want
Nice.
to, like I said, I want to get these again, and because I go to a lot of anime conventions with a bunch of like dumb, like I love my friends, but we are all collectively stupid, and do dumb drinking things. I want to buy this again and keep it till OhioCon of next year, and then just like tell no one, and pour them all in cups and make everybody drink one. Like,
what if the trick is that the frogman is supposed to be aged, and like once you leave it in the can for like 6 months and it comes out like tasting like the finest scotch or something.
It's so sad. Like it made me sad because I usually really like green beverages.
I feel like they might have also done, since it's a Cincinnati brewery that did this. Maybe they're like, everyone's going to think the Ohio one is safe.
That's what we're trying to figure out. Like we're trying to like logic this now. Because at first I was like, oh, I bet the Jersey Devil is going to be a trick.
And then I was like, well, people always make fun of New Jersey. Like people always shit on New Jersey.
Yeah, it's the armpit of the country.
Like, so I'm thinking that maybe it's not a trick because they're like, oh, people would expect the Jersey Devil to suck.
Well, because then you also get like the chupacabras in there.
Yeah.
Who drinks goat blood.
Yeah.
And so like, what would they do? Like, is it going to taste like goat?
I can't.
Is it going to taste like a gyro? Is that what you're saying?
It might taste like blood. They might. You can make things taste like blood and not.
It's you just crack it open. It smells like pennies.
Oh God!
If we're feeling it, if we're like, I might crack open the chupacabra one just to know.
Just to know, we got it.
I mean, we've only had like 3 or 4 sips of the whole seltzer so far. So
yeah. I mean, I'm going to be able to finish the Mothman. Mothman's good. We probably should rate it.
Oh yeah. I am going to give it an R. It's definitely not as god awful as the Frogman was, but I'm not going to drink it ever again.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's a regrettable, like not as good as it.
I would also
could
give
have
it an
been.
R. I would also give it an R. Yeah. I mean, here I go.
I mean, if we end up drinking the rest of these, or at least trying the rest of these today, and the rest of them taste like, like sugar and like sweet candies and stuff like that, and that's the other trick.
Right.
That's why I kind of do want to just try all of them now, because I'm like, I gotta know what's the trick.
I'm down to do that. But before we dive into our next seltzer,
yes,
since you guys do our haunted backyard and it's your backyard, I'm originally from upstate New York, and so I picked a ghost story to talk about.
Yay.
From about 5 minutes from where I grew up, in my haunted backyard.
Fantastic. I'm excited.
So for those of you that don't know, I am from a very, very small town. It's not even like a real town, because I went to Ellenville High School in Ellenville, New York, and there's these like tiny little, almost like hamlets that all go to this one school. And even that, with that, my graduating class was like around 140. So I'm going to be talking about the Shanley Hotel, not to be confused with the Stanley Hotel where The Shining was filmed. This is the Shanley Hotel from Napanoch, New York, which has reported at least 30 different spirits.
Damn.
In the hotel.
That's a lot of ghosts.
That's a lot of ghosts,
including a ghost cat.
You got the haunted mansion shaking in its booth.
Yeah,
shaking in its boots a little bit.
From what I've found online, this hotel has been called the most haunted hotel on the East Coast, and one of the most haunted hotels in America.
Cool.
And just a little bit of history. The Shanley Hotel was bought by Mr. and Mrs. Shanley, and they wanted to have a bunch of kids, and none of their kids reached the age of 1.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that would fill you up with ghosts.
Yeah.
So at least 2 of the ghosts that have been reported have been the ghosts of Mr. and Mrs. Shanley. And there have been reports of a woman wearing turn of the century clothing heard seen and also heard sobbing.
Mm-hmm.
And she is to believe to be Mrs. Shanley. The Shanleys were Irish immigrants that had ties to the Irish mafia.
Oh.
And were even friends with FDR and Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh.
Because when Prohibition came around, a part of the hotel got turned into a speakeasy and they got busted, but they never actually served any time because they were friends with the president.
That's really interesting.
That's super cool and interesting. Yeah. Prohibition, the #1 enemy of this podcast.
But you can actually stay at the Shanley Hotel and do your own ghost hunting there. But from what I've seen online, all of the ghost hunting has been done with the hotel's own equipment.
Oh.
So I am a little skeptical about this.
That
puts a Frogman Seltzer taste in my mouth.
Yeah, that is sketchy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I am sure that there are other, because this hotel was featured on Ghost Hunters and one other ghost hunting TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, Ghost Hunters is on A&E. Those people would use their own equipment.
Right.
So there's that, but then there's a bunch of YouTubers and people like that, who have done their own ghost hunting, and they've used not their equipment, but the hotel's equipment.
So I guess you rent out the equipment,
it's one of those you could rent out the equipment, which is okay, yeah, we're making extra money, but it also that would if I went to this place and said, yeah, I'd like to do ghost thing here, and they're like, okay, yeah, use our stuff, I'm like, okay, no, I won't.
I don't like that at all. That you could have tampered with anything, because it's not my own equipment.
Because then you're basically just generating free advertisement for them.
Exactly.
Oh, and you also, before you stay there, you have to sign a waiver. And the woman who owns it said that the waiver is basically because she has felt like she has been choked twice, and a guest that has stayed there has been scratched before.
I mean,
and also if you hurt yourself, it's not on them.
Yeah.
That's true. The signing waivers isn't anything new. A lot of haunted hotels do that. A lot of reportedly haunted hotels do that.
Do they have the waiver online? Can I see what it says about as far as
you can look on some of the YouTube videos that they've actually done a video of the waiver.
Mm-hmm.
And they also say that the waiver, any social media stuff that you make or videos that you make, they have full access to use those videos.
See, yeah, that's sketchy.
That's actually
that is where I we've kind of talked about this before, but Eric and I are both we're believers. We believe in a lot of weird stuff, but we also try to keep a skeptic eye on things.
Mm-hmm.
And social media, in general, I tend to I will tend to believe the stories people tell me, except unless it's a social media story.
Yeah.
If it is something on TikTok or YouTube, I instantly get more skeptical because of the way that social media makes us think and how we're always chasing clouts, clout and clicks and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So that's the exact same vibe I'm getting here. It's the same thing where it's we are going to use a story which may have basis in fact. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there was a haunting here.
Yeah.
But it might just be much more minor.
This hotel has been up since I believe 1865.
So that's a lot of time to accumulate energy and to accumulate something to have an active haunting.
But but everything else about it just like, yeah, that's like, oh, this just sounds like you want free advertising now.
It just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, as somebody who's on the opposite side of you guys, I am a skeptic. But if it's ever presented to me and I, can't think of any logical reasoning why this would be happening, or if I feel like it hasn't been edited or anything like that in any way, I will gladly apologize and be like, yep, I was wrong.
I think there is something to be said about a hotel or a town or a like that, or a town that has like a reportedly haunted location in it. That there's something to be said about them leaning into the fact that that's what they're going to be known for.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about that. Like they're not ashamed of it. They're not hiding it. So that on that side is good. Like the Moonville Tunnel, for example, they have like a Halloween kind of festival there, but like, or even Waynesville, Ohio, they offer like a crap ton of ghost tours for not only the entire town, small town, but like for their specific buildings, like one of their hotels, the Hamel House. And you are open to do investigations at those places, but they don't give you equipment that they own for you to use. They celebrate the fact their history and know that the haunting is a part of their history, but it's in a way of where it's not forced advertisement feeling. Like yes, we have like ghost tours, like ghost walks, great, but they're not like, again, claiming ownership of all the videos that you make of it. They're not making you use equipment that only they have access to, that you probably have to get back from them with the recordings of what you recorded. Like, so that's where it gets that really weird line of like, I see you're celebrating this history, but I don't like the way you're doing it, and it makes me doubt you.
It's a grift.
It's a grift. Yeah, it's a grift. That's a good way.
I will also let you know, the town doesn't give a shit. Like, we don't do, like, the town doesn't do ghost tours. The town, for the longest time, like, I used to drive by this when I would take the later buses, not my regular bus, like when I had sports practices and play practice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would pass this all the time, and for the longest time, it was just a condemned building. Before the owner, I believe the owner who passed away in 2016, he was an older guy. In that video of the cat, that was the guy who died in 2016. He I think bought the building and started fixing it up in like 2008, 2007. So everything before then, I mean, like, it was just like a condemned building and nobody went into it.
Which also raises a red flag for me, that it was like condemned first. I don't know. That raises a red flag. Like, just in the sense of like, it could have been someone being like, look at this old hotel, like old building, I can make money. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be one of those things where I'd want to like study the history of the hauntings, like in the reports.
They bought it.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, they bought the hotel at a tax auction, and at a tax auction, you only see the outside, you don't see the inside.
Yeah, because it'd be one of those things where like, I'd want to know like, okay, when was it? Like, yeah, I want to know like the history of the hauntings, kind of the story. Yeah, where like, are there stories from 50, 60 years ago?
I do have some of that right here.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, then, good segue.
On their website, and I'll just put it out there. thehauntedShanleyHotel.com. They have a list of all of their haunted rooms that you could stay in. And they also have an evidence tab.
Yeah.
which is EVP recordings and even a video of what is supposedly a ghost cat.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of a ghost cat.
I love ghost cats. Even Hamel House in Waynesville, Ohio has a ghost cat.
The ghost cat's name is Sweet Thing.
Oh,
That's a good cat.
That's a good cat.
That's a good cat name in general. Very good ghost cat.
Very good ghost cat name.
So this hotel, in its glory days of the early 20th century, was a stopping point for many people. Eleanor Roosevelt stayed there. Thomas Edison stayed there. And so there were many features that this hotel also had. There was a doctor that I believe lived there, and a barber that lived in the hotel and worked in the hotel. And in these recordings that you can see on the evidence page, that video and the recording of the little girl that you hear, "I want cake too," is supposed to be the voice of Rosie, the 3-year-old daughter of the barber, who was playing, or something happened, and across the street from the hotel fell into a well and died.
Oh God.
So
God, I hate wells are creepy.
yeah.
I don't like wells. But that's sad.
And she is reported to be one of the spirits in the hotel, and one of the ones that has the most interaction.
The recording that we listened to with the "I Want Cake Too," it was very quiet, but it was pretty clear.
Yeah, though if it was taken with
it's their equipment. That's a recording that they had out because a guest was having a party there, or it was a friends of the family party, and they were offering birthday cake to the guests that were there, and then that was there as well.
Yeah, that was it was cool to go through everything and hear hear some of the EVPs. It started turning into a red flag with me through how clear everything was, because a lot of times EVPs are usually never that clear. Usually EVPs consist of coughing sounds.
Yeah. Or the fact that and again it's when I say and when I say I believe and when what makes sense to me when I say it is that I believe, and X-Files, I want to believe. I want these things. I want whatever form this stuff takes. I want good evidence. I want to see it, but I also don't want to see someone faking it to make me believe something. And the "I Want Cake Too" sounded incredibly intelligent it was an incredibly intelligent response from Rosie, supposedly, which I'm not saying that they don't have an active haunting with intelligent responses, but it is very rare to have something answer like that. It's just not something you hear very often.
I thought that was too intelligent and too clear of a sound for a 3-year-old to make.
Also, yes, for a 3-year-old. Yeah. For her being only 3, that's like a 5-year-old response.
I've got some nieces around that age, and I could see them saying that, but it would not be that it was more the kind of the mannerisms and the kind of the I'm trying to think of the way the voice, I'm trying to think of the word, sorry.
Baby talk,
which 3-year-olds aren't like full-blown goo goo gaga, but they're still
in that in-between stage of going to school and learning English at home.
Yeah. Now, if you were to tell me that Rosie was reportedly 5 years old when she died, I could believe it. Even I would be like, okay, that sounds like something a 5-year-old would say. That sounds like a 5-year-old. Because I was originally going to say she sounds like she's 5 years old, in the recording. But yeah, 3. I don't know if they would be even the ghost would be intelligent enough at that age to have that response.
Ghost IQ test.
Ghost IQ test.
Along with Rosie, like I said, there was a doctor that stayed at the hotel. The doctor was leaving the hotel, and his 5-year-old son tried to jump on the running board of his dad's car while he was backing out, and missed, and his dad ended up running, like backing over him, which didn't kill him, but left him with severe brain damage. And the ghost of this 5-year-old boy is rumored to be in the attic of the hotel.
Oh,
that is
interesting.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that
just that sounds like I don't want to go to that.
I don't want to go to the attic at all.
Children are children can be creepy in general. Ghost children, always creepy. Even
Always
if they're
creepy.
friendly. Even if they're
friendly ghost kids, they're always going to be creepy. Ugh.
When Rosie died, her father, and I don't know if her mom was living at the hotel as well, the barber, they left. And after they left, the 18th Amendment was passed, which was the banning of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the barber's apartment was turned into a bordello speakeasy.
Mm-hmm.
And the next group that I have here were all people that were involved with that speakeasy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There are about 4 well, more than that, maybe 5. There's Frank, and he is apparently he was the ghost or the spirit that choked the owner.
Mm-hmm.
And in a later recording, she apparently asked who choked me, and she's heard on the equipment that it was Frank, and you liked it.
I was about to say he might just be a kinky ghost.
He might just be a kinky asshole ghost.
He is supposed to be the asshole of the hotel. He was a bodyguard of the speakeasy.
Yeah.
And so that other voice recording in there that says evil bitches, that's Frank. And there's even they even asked how he died, and it says a gunshot.
Oh yeah, I saw that when we were scrolling on the recordings.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, there's Joe. He was a hitman for the Irish Mafia and was involved with the speakeasy, and he is recorded saying that he has killed 107 people when he was a hitman.
Wow, that's impressive.
Ireland? Well, I mean, he could have come over here and just made a killing during, literally made a killing during, Prohibition, running guns, being a hitman.
True.
I mean, you could have shot somebody in broad daylight as long as, you had your face covered back then.
Yeah. True.
And then there's Maddie and Anna, who were 2 working girls, and one was killed and the other committed suicide on the 3rd floor of the hotel.
Oh shit.
And they have been on recordings with one-on-one male guests at the hotel saying that I'm with a client now, leave me alone.
It's big Dan Aykroyd dream and Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
100%.
And you can stay in both of their rooms, but before you leave, you're supposed to leave $1 or some cigarettes.
I mean, you know what? I am proud of them for, still keeping it going in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Hashtag Ghost Girl Boss.
Hashtag Ghost Girl Boss.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah. Honestly, though, knowing that there's Frank and 2 ghost kids, if I had to stay in a room, it would be one of theirs, because I would feel like I wouldn't be as scared.
You might get a nice cuddle.
I might get a nice cuddle, ghost cuddle.
Joe the Hitman, in some of those YouTube ghost hunting ones, there has been, I say, evidence of the women spirits touching men guests and stuff like that.
Yeah. Again, yeah, very big Dan Aykroyd scene
Yeah.
in Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Like energy.
But Joe apparently is supposed to be the guy that kind of like runs the house and keeps the ghost in check. Apparently, the whole thing is, as long as you're not an asshole to these spirits, they love to talk to people.
I mean, that's ingenuine, like how you should be when going into a reportedly haunted area.
Yeah.
Like you don't, because like my personal ish belief is like, if you go into a reportedly haunted area, whether you are like, and you are like a skeptic, like you're a hardcore skeptic, and you have already gone into, you are going into this place, and you have going in, you're like, I don't believe in any of this. All of this is bullshit. If you do that, I feel like you're putting up this kind of, this is going to sound funny, psychic wall in with you, to where that since these ghosts are nothing but pure energy of what energy they are, I feel like you're going to emanate this wall to where you're not going to have them talk to you, because they spiritually and cannot, because you have already walled yourself off from open communication. If that in a way, like you are already are not going to communicate with them at all, so they can't draw energy to communicate with you and penetrate that psychic wall that you have put in front of you already. That's kind of my belief.
Yeah, and like a lot of times it's not just like hearing voices and things like that. It will just be weird things happening around you that I think if you enter with like, and like the skeptic, the mindset, you might just not notice the weird things happening around you.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like they just, it just won't cross your brain to see those things. And so yeah, you're not going to get as many interactions because you're just not looking for interactions, which you shouldn't, like looking for interactions could mean also reading into things that are meaningless, or there is a logical explanation. So it is having to strike that balance between, I want to find things, I want to have an experience, but I don't want there to be an experience that is like, I don't want to make something up.
Like you want to go in wanting and looking for contact, looking for evidence, like you are open to being contacted and you are open to an experience, but you have to make sure that you go in with a, I hate the word scientific mind, but a healthy skeptic mind of like, okay, eliminate every possible thing that could have been, and if you can't find the logical explanation for it, then it could be something other.
Now, the one thing I want to know is, do we have like death certificates for these people, and so like what kind of like the historic documentation?
I couldn't find any of that stuff. I also, like, I'm sure that there is for Mr. and Mrs. Shanley, because you actually have a last name. The only other ghost that I have a spirit that I have a last name for is Rosie, and that's because of they just mentioned their father's last name. Actually, no, I do have a last name for another one, but on the last page that I was looking up information on, this is the first time I've ever heard of this. Apparently, there's another spirit of a 9-year-old girl at the hotel who was lured into a swamp under the pretense of receiving a lollipop from a man. And this man killed her. And this man's name was Alfred Volkman, apparently, according to this.
Spooky name.
Yeah. And he was Helen's killer, and he was later killed by electric chair in Sing Sing prison. But his spirit is also supposed to be in the hotel.
Interesting.
Like, yeah, there's even as like assuming like a third of it, like the stories are verifiable. It does like give their like there's reason to believe that this place may be legitimately haunted.
Yes. And
that's kind of what like, yeah, I want to know more about like the haunting, like when were like do you have any information like when the first sightings, or is it basically like this guy buys it in 20 something.
Basically, I think it was because of the guy buying it in 2008, 2007, because it sat a bit abandoned for like 20 years. And before then it was like somebody owned it, but it wasn't like nothing was in there type thing.
Yeah. But that is interesting.
Yeah, what's the kind of place I'd want to go and like
insist on using my own equipment.
Yeah, like and not do like be like, yeah, I'm not going to post anything. I just want to come here and like I'll like just chill on my phone and try to get. You can get EVPs on your phone. Like,
yeah.
Well, speaking of that, yeah, a lot of these people did use their phones. But one piece of equipment that a YouTuber caught the owner using was an iPad on a tripod, and plugged into the iPad was an Xbox 360 Connect camera.
Oh,
because of motion capture. And
I mean, that doesn't really necessarily big red flags for me, because people are using Xbox 360 Connect for a lot of different applications because it's very versatile. So like,
but it's also got like a finicky camera.
It does have a very it's not the greatest webcam ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a great webcam like at all. But I mean, it's a 50-50. Yeah, it's a little sketchy, but also
maybe they just know the ghosts really like the dancing game from the Star Wars.
The Star Wars dance game. Star Wars Just Dance. I did not play the Star Wars one, but I did play Just Dance using the Kinect. It was as mediocre as it sounds.
Speaking of mediocre.
Yes. Do you want to crack into another one of these seltzers?
Here's we go for.
All right, so the next one. Why don't we try Goat Man? Goat Man, 1980s Kentucky. Its hypnotic croon kept them frozen on the tracks. He's got a little axe, and his height is 8 feet, weight 310 pounds, and interests include carpentry, karaoke, and being the greatest of all time, because he's the goat.
I mean, minus the carpentry, minus the karaoke, we're very similar.
Yeah, like I agree.
So Goatman's one of those ones where it's hard to keep straight because there are 4 or 5 different Goatmen.
Yeah, there are a lot of Goatmen.
So is this thing making people freeze on train tracks and they get hit by a train, or?
I'm not familiar with. I don't know if this is the same Goatman that I've seen on BuzzFeed Unsolved Goatman Bridge, but it sounds like it.
Yeah, there's like the Goatman Bridge, which for some reason I always thought was in Texas.
I always thought Goatman Bridge was in Texas too.
Maybe there's more than one Goatman Bridge.
Yeah, maybe there is.
There's also a Maryland Goatman, I'm fairly certain.
Oh.
That's the one that always stuck in my brain. I was terrified of the Goatman when I was a child.
Oh man.
I was cool with Bigfoot. I was cool with Mothman. Goatman, terrifying.
I mean, he's cute now, but like a actual goat-sized man. Like, I'm sorry, man-sized goat. A goat-sized man is not very terrifying, but a man-sized goat is terrifying. Let's see if this is a trick.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous.
I know, like my stomach's tensing.
I mean, even the treat one wasn't that great.
Yeah.
What would they eat? I'm getting a smell.
I'm getting a smell already. Oh no, this one smells good. It smells like caramel.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, I was getting like maple syrup.
Yeah, that's caramel.
Yeah, that just smells like caramel. Oh, and it's a lovely color.
Like a caramel cream soda kind of.
Yeah.
That looks like an actual beer color too.
Yeah, it looks like PBR, which I'm very familiar with.
Oh, though admittedly, I'm using the same glass I drank everything else out of. It's like it smells much worse.
Oh dear God.
Oh, we didn't. Oh, that's my favorite so far.
Yeah, it's still like inoffensive, I'd say. Not great.
See, no, I would rate it higher.
No, I'm gonna rate this one a little bit higher, but like that smells better than it tastes. I'll say that. Like, these don't taste great.
It definitely smells a lot better than it tastes. It's like, I want a candle of this. But like, you know what?
You're right though. It is caramel. You're right. That is.
So R is regrettable.
Yes.
What's O?
O is optimistic.
I think I rate this as optimistic.
Yeah, we usually save that for like beers that we might be drinking and they're a little bit past, they're a little bit older than they should be when we drink them type thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I would almost go as far as like, I really like this one. I would get like a 6-pack of this.
Yeah,
I'm fine with the can.
Yeah. Like, but I also like the taste of can. I drink like LaCroix and PBR. So I mean, I also have trash taste.
Yeah, I would put it somewhere between an R and O. It's I'm also like not super big into sweet drinks. At least not with alcohol.
Yeah.
I made one night of very bad sweet drink mistakes, and like ever since then I can't really drink sweet.
Oh, this is gonna give you a hangover if you do a lot of these. You'll get a hangover from this. But like, this would be the one I would want to give to people.
But yeah, in comparison to all the other ones, like this is the least offensive so far. And yeah, it's the one that like I might not drink, but if somebody told me they really liked Frogman, I would be concerned. So if they were like, "Oh yeah, this is the one I'm drinking this one," I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I get that."
I wanted to like Frogman so bad. I wanted to like him.
This is definitely, I think, the best one we've had so far.
Oh yeah, it is way better than Mothman's. Way better than Mothman.
Definitely sweet. I think I would give it an O as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see myself getting a 6-pack like you? No, but I could see where you're coming from.
I got trash taste.
I'm a garbage man.
I'm a trash cop.
There are times I wish I had that ability. I curse myself with taste buds.
It's okay. I can't do bad coffee. I can't. I've also
that's another one.
That's what I curse myself with, is I can't do like cheap coffee.
It's one of those ones where I'm like, why? Like, I guess like if it's, I should yuck people's yum, but at the same time, like, coffee and beer are the things where I'm like, drink good stuff. Like, why inflict it on yourself?
But I like PBR like a lot.
Yeah. I got my everyday beer that like if I'm going to a party and I know like what the end goal is, I'm not bringing a 6-pack of like 9-10% triple IPAs.
Oh yeah. Like beer, like PBR is like my definite drink of choice. Like, I'm gonna relax, I'm gonna have beer after a festival day. That's what I want. But like, if I'm gonna treat myself nice, it's gonna be like a Dragon's Milk. Gonna be like anything like gonna be like a Dragon's Milk. Gonna be like the Atomic Pumpkin or the Ichabod.
Yeah,
like
that's one of the reasons I'm really happy that I'm seeing places like Mad Tree and some other ones where they're like, yeah, we're gonna start doing like 12 packs for like $15.
Oh yeah.
And so it's not going to be like the top quality beer.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, I'm going to a party, but I want to bring something that I know I'm going to like.
Yeah.
Great Lakes had a 12-pack of their Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I would feel cool. Like, it's not breaking the bank.
No.
It's going to be something I'm going to enjoy, but other people would enjoy too. So
yeah, exactly. Like
Founders does a 15-pack of all day IPA.
Yeah. That's another one where I'm like, yeah, this is one where it'd be like, even just for the house now, because I'm like, I probably shouldn't be buying $15 6-packs all the time. So I'll do a $70 12-pack. That'll last me a couple of weeks. Yeah. And then I won't feel like an alcoholic anymore.
Speaking of last me a couple of weeks, thank you so much for the hookup on the Atomic Pumpkin and the Ichabod Lucas.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not gonna need to buy beer for camp for a little while. So yeah. But which it's funny because like I'm the only one who will drink the Atomic Pumpkin in my tent. So it just means I get it all. They're like, why do you like this? I'm like, I don't know.
Did I give you a boo thing from Saucy?
You did. I haven't tried that one yet. You snuck that one into the cooler, but I haven't tried that one yet.
I have 2 more for you, and I tried to get them to you on Sunday, but I couldn't find you before I left. It's the Nitro Pumpkin, the cold brew coffee one.
Oh yeah,
the pumpkin one.
Yeah, nice. I saw like Fathead has new spooky one that I wanted to try.
Their pumpkin tooth is their spooky tooth is absolutely delicious.
Is it? Okay, then I might get it this week.
Okay, if you can find it, if you can't find it, let me know, because I always get some of that. I can give you a can.
I definitely found it at Meijer. That's how I found it. So, but like, appreciate that. But yeah, I will definitely get some this weekend so I can try it. Because if it's that good, then yes.
So I've never been able to find it outside of the one time I was able to get it in Athens, and I always wonder if it was a mistake because it was a $3 growler, so like 32 ounces.
That's cheap for a growler.
Yeah, no, it's cheap for a bottle.
Yeah,
and it was Sarnak. I want to say was the brewing company, maybe. Sarnak pumpkin ale.
And where was this? Where did you buy this at?
Athens, Ohio, at a Kroger.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was like I took it to a party, and it was not bad. I was like, I feel like a mistake was made somewhere.
When did you buy it?
That must have been. It was like September, October 2014, 2015. And
it is illegal to give discounts on beer at the store level. The lowest you can sell it at is state minimum, but every time you go into a Kroger, they'll be like, oh, this beer is on sale, get this 6-pack for $9.99 was $10.99 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's because they marked up the price originally to $10.99, but the state minimum that you can sell that at is $9.99.
Makes sense.
If they had a surplus, or they couldn't get rid of it, it could also have been a year-old bottle from a previous year. I've seen it where like at some, you ever been to Jungle Gyms?
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of their discounted beer is beer that's very close to going out of date, which the distributor, if you buy from the distributor, you have to sell it. The state minimum is a percentage up from that. If the distributor has so much of this beer that's about to go out date, instead of dumping it down the drain, because they'll just lose on it, they'll sell it to these stores, especially like the big chain stores or a place like Jungle Gyms, for like next to nothing. So it then turns into a $3.99 bomber or a $4 6-pack of craft beer. It's just close to going out date.
Interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
That also doesn't mean that the beer is going bad. It's just because of laws, they have to put an expiration date on it, and people buy off
exactly
that.
It was, so I must have hit it like at the exact right time, because I went back like the next year when I was still living in Athens. I'm like, where that was pretty good. It was $3 and I couldn't find it again.
That brewery may also have been pulling their distribution from Ohio. So
yeah. All right, are we gonna try?
You want to go to the last one?
I was looking at the Jersey Devil can, and Ian, you can read it, but I request to read his weight.
Okay. All right, Jersey Devil, 1735, New Jersey. She gave birth to a hoofed bat-winged creature. Height 7 foot 3 inches. Eye color red. Weight.
His weight is 200 to 300 gabagools.
What that would be like. Imagine walking through like the Pine Flats or something like that in Jersey, and you see this terrifying creature, and it just starts talking like Tony Soprano.
Hey, you got gabagoo, So our gabagoo has become. Oh, his interests, by the way, are skee ball and hanging out. But Gabagool has become Mum and Feast's like battle cry, but also like Hakuna Matata. Like that is just the new thing that Mum is doing right now. That's one of our new things. Because then at Feast, we all put our hands in and we do like a 1, 2, 3 Gabagool. Like that's just a thing that's been happening.
All right. Let's try this, guys.
Let's try it.
Well, you guys are getting that together. I just want to finish up on the last few notes that I have here.
Okay.
There's apparently also the spirit of Adam, a serial killer that lives on the 3rd floor.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Shit. This is like they're like, let's just do American Horror Story
Yeah.
in this hotel. Like,
yeah, they honestly could.
I can't.
And just like all of the, is that red?
It's orange.
Oh,
It's orange.
It's one of those things I can't trust my nose with it right now because I'm using the same glass.
I can't because I smell because the caramel smell from Goatman was very overpowering.
if
smells-
this color isn't candy corn, I'll be very surprised.
Oh man, I hope it's candy corn. I really do hope it's.
Yeah, I'm
candy
trying to figure out what the smell is.
corn. I can't really tell what the smell is.
I think that is the smell of their seltzer without any flavoring in it, because it's very similar to the seltzer that we have without any flavoring in it.
Yeah, that is incredibly neutral.
Yeah, I like this one though. Again, I like this is the treat. This is another treat. That
You know what that tastes like to me?
what is that?
Almost like bubblegum flavor.
That's the smell. That was the smell.
You
too.
know, hold on. I do
Like-
love that.
It's got a little bit of bubblegum smell to it.
Like double bubble, that pink chunk of
Oh, okay. When I'm smelling it right out of the can, I can kind of get a little bit of that.
And like literally, like it is a pink smell. It smells like pink, which
It's-
is what
yeah,
bubblegum
Yes,
smells like.
yeah, it smells like double bubble, like bubble tape. But
Yeah, that's bubblegum.
yeah,
That's
that's
very light bubblegum flavor.
bubble tape. I'm getting a lot of like bubble tape or hubba bubba.
I would give this one an O just because it is so mild that if somebody said this is you need to drink and this is all I have to drink, I would not. I would drink it.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't complain about this.
I'm gonna give this one an O as well.
I'll also agree with you guys on an O. Now, I know we said we were only going to do two.
Before.
We were it's four. But we found one of the tricks, which was Frogman.
Unless the Mothman was also a trick.
Unless the Mothman was also a trick. But I mean, I'm interested to see because we were talking like off camera, like we were talking like off recording, Ian and I, and I have a sneaking suspicion that the Chupacabra is blood flavored.
If it's not blood flavored, it's definitely blood colored, and it's going to be like a fruit punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Because I don't know if you can get away with selling a blood flavored drink.
That's fair. And
Just
then,
say it's penny flavored.
It's
or something.
penny
It
flavored.
just tastes like copper.
and then we have the Mapinguari. I think I said that right. With I think Destination Truth tried to hunt this guy. I think Josh
Yeah.
Gates went to the Amazon. Shout out to Josh Gates. I love that show. I think Josh Gates went to go hunt this guy. I'm pretty sure. Because he's been to the Amazon like at least twice. One time for like a dinosaur that supposedly escaped extinction, and I think this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because Mapinguari sounds very familiar to my ears. I used to watch Destination Truth like a shit ton. Did you watch Destination Truth?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what
You know,
about
when I was younger.
you ever heard of Destination Truth?
When was it on TV? Because I didn't have.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah, I only had. My dad had a giant satellite dish. We were the last house on a dead end road. Like my parents.
Oh, okay.
My parents got cable last year.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah. This was on Sci-Fi.
Mhm.
Oh no, yeah.
This is on the
got
Sci-Fi
Dish
channel.
Network in like 2007.
Oh shit, yeah. This is when Sci-Fi became Sci-Fi, when it was like SY.
Mm.
SYFY instead of SCIFI. Like it changed its logo for some reason.
The only show on sci-fi that I can think of that I watched when I was a kid was the Tin Man show, or was that spin-off?
Yeah,
I
remember
remember that show.
Yeah.
Because they did that one, and then they had like another Alice in Wonderland one.
Oh, did they? Oh, that would
yeah,
be cool to watch.
My favorite show off Sci-Fi was Warehouse 13.
Mine was probably Dresden Files, but that only lasts like a season.
You can get on Tubi.
Mhm.
You can get on Tubi. I'm trying to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But so in regards to Shanley, did you have any more?
Yes. See what you have.
Oh yes.
Sorry.
No, you're totally fine. So just from what I've seen on these YouTubers that have gone there and done their own ghost hunting and stuff like that, they will sit in like the main like living room area, and they'll communicate, and they'll have the ghost say, "Hey, what's this person's name?" And then, like they'll pick a random person in the room and say that, and they'll be like, "Well, I didn't even ask you your name, but you would have seen their name on the waiver that they signed."
Were they now? Does the hotel staff instruct them to be like, "Hey, this is how you open a level 8, open a conversation, or like open a communication with these spirits"? Like, that's what they recommend that you do.
They just recommend that you do that you're just polite with them. Like they don't do like any coaching other than like, I mean, it just seems like pretty generic questions that I've seen. Like, how did you die? I mean, the odds that a ghost says gunshot, I mean, like, this is America.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. All is just I would want to go there and do a very surreptitious ghost hunt, like not tell them what I was going to do.
And one of the evidence things, they ask like the spirit where that person worked, and then you can hear them say cell block 7. If you walk out the front door of the hotel, and if it's during the winter and there's no leaves on the trees, if you look across the road, you can see Napanock East State Correctional Facility.
So a ghost from the correctional facility could have got attached to,
or it could have been a guard.
Yeah.
And he worked on cell block 7.
Yeah.
And went to this hotel during the prohibition.
Interesting. Like,
see, that's kind of interesting, because it is so not obvious.
Yeah.
Like, it would be one thing, like, where did you work? I'm a gangster.
Yeah, I
shoot people.
Spinky.
But to say cell block 7 and have it not be very obvious, unless maybe like the hotel's like, oh, he said cell block 7.
No, you can't miss the prison. Like, you're driving into Napanock. It looks like an old castle. Like if you pull up a picture of it, I mean, it used to be the biggest employer for the longest time, and then budget cuts, New York had to cut back, and now it's Walmart.
Okay.
That is interesting though. I do find it interesting. I do find it fascinating when like a ghost would like, is it a, like you mentioned, like there was like a couple Abraham Lincoln ghosts like in Ohio, and I'm just like, that's weird. That because we don't know the rules of that plane. We don't know the rules. Like we don't know the rules. If you can travel, because like I like to think it's like a corpse bride situation, like a Beetlejuice situation for the afterlife. I'd like to think it's like that, like, and minus the sandworms. Minus the sandworms. Those are terrifying.
There's also two things that I have left of the Shanley Hotel. The first thing is there is a basement that was essentially treated like a morgue for the Irish Mafia. And people have gone down into the basement in these YouTube videos and stuff like that. And they have a gift shop. And so you can buy stuff online, but you can also, and here's another thing that makes it very fucking sketchy, because personally, if I was walking into this place and I was doing my own ghost hunting and they're like, you can use our equipment, and I would say no, but then they can say, well, we sell equipment that you can buy for yourself. They sell ghost hunting equipment in their gift shop, and it's the same equipment that you can use that's their own.
So My new theory is that this is a haunted place, but the ghosts are like, we're gonna do like an MLM.
The ghosts are employed as a ghost union.
There's like a 1920s sleazy businessman that killed himself when the Great Depression hit, and he's like, "All right, guys, we gotta make a quick buck here."
Did you ever want to be your own boss
in the afterlife? Though, not a bad. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you have to die, but like, I don't know.
Well, then, and in this case, you're also joining a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, you're joining a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, though, again, I would hope that in the afterlife, like, I can choose to haunt something if I want to.
Yeah,
like it's like be a bioexorcist, like Beetlejuice is.
Yeah, I want to read more about this place. But to me, it just does scream like grift, which is sad because it's one of those things where I'm like, it also takes legitimacy away from like the field as a whole. There are so many grifts that end up happening, and the people who are trying to do good work, interesting work,
groundbreaking work,
are not getting any attention because the grifters all come to the top. So
yeah. I'll go ahead, Lucas.
I was just gonna say, as somebody who has, like, that's where I'm from, the fact that the town doesn't even take it seriously, like they're right on the main street in Napanoch, and like they're prime position to have like a Halloween themed party or anything like that. Nope.
Yeah, the fact that if they're not getting like any kind of community support about it like that, because it's different, like because they're even there's even things like with the Waynesville ghosts, and they have all these ghost tours. Like part of it is like tourist money. But part of it is like this is at least some, like there is some credibility to this, or there is at least we feel like we can support these, like the ghost tours and stuff like that, where some place like this where it's just like we don't talk about that.
It's the same thing with like New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like as like rich of history as New Orleans is, and as reportedly haunted as New Orleans is, like the community backs all of the, like, is into the supernatural. Like it's a very spiritual place, not only with its history walks and ghost walks, it's openly talked about. Like I remember hearing something about, like, if you live in New Orleans and you don't have a ghost story or a ghost in your house, it's considered weird. That you don't have an experience. Like stuff like that is what you would want in a haunted community, versus like in this situation where it's like, we just push it to the side. We don't want to talk about it. Like that's like the biggest red flag for me. Is the fact that the community's like, we don't want to talk about this.
They are in construction of building a seance room.
Also bad idea.
That sounds 100% legit, and like it's not going to be filled with contraptions.
Totally. Let's build this seance room that, again, totally not that we're building ourselves. Don't worry about it. What's this table?
And I mean, all of their advertising, even their website, is the Haunted Shanley Hotel. Their gift shop is, you can buy a coffee mug that says the Haunted Shanley Hotel.
It just puts a really bad Frogman's hard seltzer taste in my mouth.
And I will say that when I was watching these videos, I was like, oh shit, there's some spooky shit in here. And then it got Looney Toony.
Because the ghost cat was very convenient looking.
The guy also owned a cat, and then he's like, there's a ghost cat at the end of the hallway.
Because he didn't say how the cat died. He just said that the cat wanted to stay in certain areas and wouldn't leave the hotel. And then he's like, then it stayed in the third floor. I'm like, okay, how did the cat die? We didn't get any of that. And not saying that an animal cannot have a tragic enough or experience or enough energy to imprint on a place as much as a human, but it is rare. Like animal hauntings are more rare than a human entity or a evil entity haunting an area.
Yeah.
Like you don't like we had an episode where we talked about Sinclair and we talked about the ghost horse. And then there was also this ghost cat and the Hamill House ghost cat. But ghost animals, not as common as, like, again, in quotations, intelligent human energy or intelligent evil spirit hauntings. This is not a common thing. Like, so ghost animals, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, like there is like Britain actually has like a fairly big history of spectral dogs, but I don't even know if they get classified in the same level as ghost. It is kind of its own phenomena.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of like where the Grimm from Harry Potter came from, was actually this like tradition of these bizarre dog sightings, and he's like, this dog is too big to be a dog.
Yeah.
They also, Britain's got its own like weird and like spectral, somewhere between like ghost and cryptid, like big dogs and big cats where they shouldn't be, where they shouldn't exist. But
and I'm sure the Thames is just full of them.
Oh yeah,
probably.
But the ones I thought, there's like the big cats are not quite Scotland area.
Oh yeah, when we get big cat reports in America too.
Yeah, we get weird. There's like there are some in Ohio. Like that's always one of the weird things when you start studying these events, are how often you'll have something like a Bigfoot sighting go hand in hand with ghost hauntings or big cat sightings. Like there's the one that we covered was the Minerva monster.
Yeah.
In Minerva, Ohio, and there was this Bigfoot creature who was sometimes seen without them, but generally was always seen with two very large cats, like bigger than a bobcat, in a location where you wouldn't have like a cougar or a puma or anything like that.
Like it would be their pet.
Yeah, like it would be there with it. Like, it was like, and it was hard to tell, like, oh, is this a pet? Is it following it around? What's the relationship between these events?
And then sometimes, and then along with it, there was a bunch of UFO sightings with the Minerva monster. Like it's this weird phenomenon where like you see one thing, and if it's a big enough event of a flap, what it's called in the world, you see all of these things happen. It happened with Minerva monster. It happened very big with Mothman.
Yeah.
So like you just get all of this strange, high strangeness activity is what it's called in the realm of the investigation. You just got all this high strangeness that happens during it. And then it just like, as quickly as it arrives, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, just very odd.
Do you guys want to finish up with one more seltzer before we wrap up here?
Sure thing. Which one should we do for our last? Let's go for the Chupa.
Let's go for Chupacabra.
Let's go with the Chupacabra.
Let's see. All right, here we go.
So what are your guys' opinions of the whole Shanley Hotel?
There's like it seems like there's enough verifiable history to make me interested in reading up a little more.
Yes.
And like if I were to go there myself, I would, like I said, I'd try to do a surreptitious ghost hunt. But all in all, I get a lot of grift energy from it.
I'm very untrustworthy of it. Like I would have to experience something for myself with my own equipment.
I'll send you guys the couple of links of the other like YouTubers that I watched go there.
Yeah.
But there was at one point with one of these YouTubers where they hear a noise, and whenever something happens, all of these YouTubers, there is always one of them not in that room. Yeah.
Well, that's why, like I said, I don't like social media, and I don't get along.
Yeah.
Because of those things where it is one of those things where because social media like messes with our brains, and it like forces us like, because we're forced to try and find clout and reputation.
Yeah.
And so like I think it can be a useful tool when it comes to stuff like this. There are some people who are doing really cool work on social media.
Yes.
Like the podcast Hellier.
Yeah.
Or the YouTube show Hellier, rather. Very interesting work. But a lot of times when it's the big people, it's sketchy.
I don't know what to think about the smell of that. We didn't read
the stats for the Chupacabra.
Yeah, go ahead, read them.
The height is 3'1", weight 40 to 80 pounds, and their interests are keto and psychedelics.
It's another one with a very distinctive smell, but I can't tell you what it is.
I can't tell you what that smell is. It's still orange.
It smells like it's Sprite. It smells like Sprite.
Sprite? Sprite?
Like it's got like that lemon lime.
Oh yeah.
I will say this: I did save this glass just to drink on this episode. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, is it the elevator?
It's elevator.
Piss kernel.
I was thinking about that. Like I was legit at work, and there was like a lull, and I was just straight up thinking about the piss kernel. When he did that stuff, it was what, the 1800s?
Yeah, like early 19.
There were no flies at that point, right? It
Right.
was still the button pants. So he wasn't just, slipping it out through the zipper.
He wasn't just.
He was like, I'm gonna undo 8 buttons and piss on your boot.
I'm
It
gonna
was a
get up here
mission.
on the bar, undo 8 buttons, maintaining eye contact the entire time.
Yeah,
And there's not a goddamn thing you could do because I'm a colonel.
because I'm
Exactly.
a colonel. This is Sprite.
Yes,
That is Sprite.
that's like a lemon lime. Is that supposed to be like a lemon head, maybe?
Yeah.
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 Like when I was smelling it, I was like, I know the smell. And then I was like, it's lemon lime. This is Sprite. Honestly, like out of all of them now, this would probably rank the highest because I'm like, I drink Sprite.
Yeah.
This is something that I would this is the 6-pack I would get of this.
I would also get multiples of whatever this flavor is.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't need to join me, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it.
just gonna go ahead and go for the.
I need to know what this last one is now.
Mapuang, Mahawa.
Yeah, it's
Well,
the
well, shit, if
the
you're doing it, I'm gonna do it.
Sorry.
I got it.
Oh,
Oh, is it bad?
it's not. I don't know.
Well, that's got to be the.
No, that's not bad.
It's not bad.
I think Mothman was the other trick because that smells like candy.
That does smell really sweet. And oh my god, all of the good ones are the same fucking color.
Oh, they are.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Other than
No, okay.
Goatman.
Now that
which
we've
is,
had them all, hold on. Now that we've had them all, let me go back to Mothman. Now that we've had them all, so what? Let me can I do a little bit of that one.
Yeah, the Mop and Guari, another like not a lot of flavor, but not offensive. Like
Yeah, nah. Oh, I know that taste. What is that? What is that taste? I fucking know what that is, but I can't tell. I can't place it.
mhm.
I've tasted that before. I've tasted that flavor before. I just can't place it.
Yeah.
I've tasted this as well.
Yeah, like I can't.
Is this fruit punch?
That fruit punch. It is. It
Yeah,
is like,
that's what it is.
It is like Hawaiian punch.
Oh crap! Well, I gotta brush my teeth before I go kiss my beloved.
I would do that because I could tell you right now. They probably used a puree for this.
Yeah, yeah, but Mothman is not that bad.
Mothman tasted like shit to me.
It tasted like shit, but like we went so low with Frogman.
Oh my god, we
Now
started off.
compared to everything else, Mothman is worse.
Mothman is the worst one. Like, yeah, 100%.
Frogman's the worst.
Frogman's the worst
Mothman
one.
still kind of tastes like root beer to me, but not like good root beer, like cheap root beer. But yeah.
Yeah, so it is the trick. So
I mean, those were pretty good odds, like picking 2 tricks and 2 treats.
yeah.
So the first 2 that we did were the tricks.
The
Yeah.
first 2 that we did were the tricks.
But I think because we went with the worst one possible, that Mothman was so not atrocious.
Yeah. That's probably what it was. But I mean, the last 3, I
Pretty
really
good.
liked the last 2 that we had. Like I
Yeah.
would get a 6-pack that lemon
Well,
lime and the fruit
what was
punch.
that? The Chupacabra and then the Mop and Guari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were something like I wouldn't buy a 6-pack for me, but if somebody handed me one, I'd be like, sure, yeah.
I definitely wouldn't buy a 6-pack for the Mop and Guari because that probably has the death fruit in it. But like
I would probably I'm gonna be as far as to say I'm gonna give an S to the Chupacabra.
I'm gonna give an S. You know what? I will also give an S to Chupacabra
Yeah.
because it is definitely like his Goatman was way too sweet. Goatman was way too sweet, but like Chupacabra, you could slam like 6 of those things and be fine.
Yeah, I'd say Chupacabra gets an S. Mapanguari gets an O.
Mapanguari gets an O.
I'll give it an O.
Mapanguari definitely gets an O. Goatman stays an O. Mothman stays an R. And Frogman can go back to wherever the hell it came from.
They honestly, like, if I believed in torture, they should just make people drink that until they confess.
Honestly, yeah, like if I really hated somebody.
It was so, though I wouldn't give that to a person if I really hated them. I would give it to them. I would ideally give someone the Frogman when it's like, if it's dark, you're the person you're giving it to has already had a few.
Yeah.
And they're like, can you go get me a beer? And can you go give me something to drink? And you're like, I got you. And you go in and you get the Frogman and you just hand it to him.
Like, if they used the Frogman at Guantanamo Bay, I would be like, yeah, they did, definitely.
Yeah. You just hand it to him. He's like, oh yeah, cool, thanks, bro.
Where are the codes? Imagine just getting waterboarded with
Frogman. God. I would just smell it and be like, I'll give you names and numbers. I'll give you addresses.
Whatever. I will tell you where Rachel is. Don't just.
What do you want to know? I don't want to be around it.
Oh, good. But that was fun.
I've
got a nice little buzz going on now.
Like, that was fun. Actually, okay, I could definitely drive.
Yeah.
I'll
still get water before you.
Yeah, I'll still get some water before I go.
You got anything else you want to add before we wrap things up here?
No, thank you for having us on. Like, if anybody wants to find us, podcast again is Our Haunted Backyard. If you've got anybody who has stories or like things that they think would be interesting to hear on our podcast, email is hauntedbackyardcast@gmail.com. And then look up Our Haunted Backyard on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You can find us there, and we are aiming to be more active.
We're aiming to be more active on socials. We're on Spotify. We're on all wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you can get them. We're on all of those. And send us the emails about stuff that you've heard, spooky things that you've heard. It could be a secondhand story that you heard from like your sister. We've gotten that before.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be your actual account. It could be something that you heard from a friend. But send us on, and thanks for having us on. This was so much fun.
Yeah. It was a blast to be on your show last week, and it was a blast having you guys on this week.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, of course. All right, so that brings us to an end of another episode of the Pint Pals podcast. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.